Welcome in, everyone. I hope you guys are doing well. As always, we have an interesting update about the potential strike, war, whatever you want to call it, with the cartels in Mexico and how the cartels and their members are reacting as fears heighten, as it looks like a strike could come at literally any time, carried out by the Trump administration. And let me tell you, the cartel members, and we're going to get into it, they are terrified right now of Donald Trump, and it is a fascinating story to watch unfold. Before we get into all of that, as always, please make sure to like and subscribe. Comment with your thoughts below on how you want to see the cartels handled and how you think this situation will unfold. So as we all know, the background here is pretty simple. Since President Trump returned to office, he has been taking a lot of serious moves to target the cartels. That includes an unprecedented number of spy flights. That includes 7 Special Forces group going down to Mexico. That includes CIA Reaper drones flying all over Mexico, targeting, finding where the cartels are in the event that President Trump comes in and says, hey, we're going to hit these guys. They are ready to go. And this also all comes amid the tariff war, which is obviously ongoing at the moment. And it set the stage for some type of inevitable showdown. What is that showdown going to look like? Well, before one shot has even been fired, cartel members are running for their lives, according to a new report that is a good sign that they are very scared of Trump and the U.S. military. Let's get into all of that right now. This is a report from the New York Times, and I know some people out there might not be fans of the New York Times. They've certainly made a lot of mistakes, but the reporting on the cartel issue has been pretty rock solid, interesting. And they published a report. You're probably watching this. Wherever you're watching this, this report would have come out on Sunday, March 2nd, 2025. It is titled, Trump Threats and Mexico's Crackdown Hit Mexican Cartel. Several cartel operatives said that for the first time in years, they genuinely feared arrest or death at the hands of the authority. Good start. We're moving in the right direction. These guys think we're going to show up and, wipe them out. So be it. It's good for us, not good for them. So let's do a little bit of reading here. I'll flash some of it on the screen right now for you about what is going on. One cartel leader says he's trying to figure out how to protect his family in case the American military strikes inside Mexico. Another says he's already gone into hiding, rarely leaving his home. 2 young men who produce fentanyl for the cartel said they have shut down all their drug labs. A barrage of arrests, drug seizures, and lab busts by the Mexican authorities in recent months have struck the behemoth Sinaloa cartel, according to Mexican officials in interviews with 6 cartel operatives, forcing at least some of its leaders to scale back on production in the Sinaloa state, their stronghold. The cartels have sown terror across Mexico and caused untold damage in the United States, but here in Culiacan, I'm probably butchering that, the state capital, the dynamics seem to be shifting, at least for now. Cartel operatives said they had to move labs to other areas of the country or temporarily shut down. One member stated as saying, you can't be calm, you can't even sleep because you don't know when they'll catch you. The most important thing now is to survive. So these people who've had their way for years and pushed their poison, violence, and carnage over our border. Trump's been president for a little more than a month, about a month and a half-ish. And now these people are giving interviews about how they're running for their lives, hiding, doing everything they can to try to survive, because for the first time in years, they truly believe that the United States might show up in the middle of the night and take them out and blow open the doors, and that's going to be the end of that. That is going to be the end of that. Now, there's another fascinating thing that I got to pull up here. That is, do the cartels think that they can win a shootout with the U.S. military? Well, that's kind of mentioned here. Inside the Trump administration, there is still some division over whether the United States should take unilateral military action in Mexico against cartels or whether it should work more closely with the Mexican government in combating the drug trade. Mexico's cartels are known for amassing military-grade weapons, including IEDs and landmines. We just saw an American citizen killed in Mexico that way. Yet the operatives acknowledged in interviews that they could scarcely compete with the American military arsenal. Even so, one high-level operative said the cartel would be prepared to respond if raids or strikes were carried out. This is his quote. If a helicopter comes here and soldiers drop out, 20 or 30 of them, there's no way we just sit there with our arms crossed. So this guy is saying on the record that if we show up, the drug cartels absolutely plan on trying to hold their ground against Delta Force, SEAL Team 6, and the Army Rangers. He said they're not going to sit on their hands. So I guess they're going to go toe-to-toe with the most dangerous men on the planet, the most well-trained soldiers and operators on the planet. The cartel wants you to believe they're going to go toe-to-toe with them. As I've said many times before, and I'll say again, if Delta shows up on target in Mexico, they're going to shellac these dudes. It won't even be close. Don't tell me about their armored vehicles. Don't tell me about how they have grenade launchers. Don't tell me how a couple of them have night vision. You are talking about the best trained shooters on the planet versus cartel hired guns. If you think that's going to end well for the cartel, I frankly do not know what to tell you, because you are living in some fantasy land. But most importantly, let's talk about what this means and the fact they're scrambling before a strike and what it might be a sign of things to come. More than anything, the fact that these drug cartels are scrambling already, going into hiding, running for their lives, afraid to leave their houses, shutting down production labs, doing whatever they can to avoid being captured or killed, and the United States has not even fired a shot yet, tells you just how seriously they're taking the moves by the United States. Remember, we just rushed heavy weapons to the border. We rushed Stryker teams, Black Hawk helicopters, Chinooks, and that's on top of the spy flights. That's on top of the Reaper drones. That is on top of everything we've done before. We have the 10th Mountain Division down there. We have assets from other elite divisions down there. They are pouring resources into the border, and clearly it is already making a significant difference. People who think they're going to win don't go into hiding. Rats flee a sinking ship. We've all seen the movie The Titanic with rats running around. Same thing. And the fact that we haven't even shown up yet, we haven't done anything to them yet, and they're already scrambling to survive, tells me Trump is over the target, no pun intended. It tells me that Trump's plan to hit these guys, they believe is legitimate, and they should believe it's legitimate. We just took out a terrorist leader in Syria. We whacked an ISIS leader in Somalia. It is clear to anyone with eyes paying attention that the United States is not playing games when it comes to handling these people. And the fact they're so scared should warm up all our souls. It's a sign that the bad guys realize the days of terrorizing innocent people are over. And if we do strike to the guy who said drop 30 soldiers off and we're essentially going to try to fight, you know what Delta Force guys always talk about in Iraq at the height of that? And they'd show up, we'd give guys a vote. Bad guys voted they wanted to fight. Guys often didn't leave alive. You're talking about complete control of the air, complete control of the ground, 30, 40, 50 operators capable of doing whatever they want against a bunch of Mexican hired guns working for the cartels. It ain't going to end well for them. It's going to be brutal. And this is the latest sign that Trump, the strategy is working. We need to keep the pressure on. Put them into hiding and then hunt them down there. There's nowhere they can run. There's nowhere they can hide forever. We tracked Osama bin Laden across the world and finally got him. So, quite frankly, they know what's coming. They know what's coming, and they're trying to prepare for it. And for the sake of all those who have been impacted by their evil, let's hope justice is found. Let me know in the comments how you want to see this situation handled. Make sure to like and subscribe. As always, I'll catch you next time.